Welcome to Nerd Wars. It's Thursday night. So happy to be here live on Popcorn Planet for some Nerd Wars. What's up, everybody? I see so many guys already popping in the chat. So awesome to see you. Been a crazy week. I'm so happy, though, to have some fun, chill out with you guys. We got some fun guests, and I'm going to be getting in the mix fighting tonight. We'll see if I lose again. It seems to be the ritual here. But as long as we have fun, that's all that matters. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I see you, Eric, Marcos, Mish, Nikki, Sathwick, Michael Caratuo, and Michael Caratuo already sent up the first donation of the night. This is the only good thing in my life. Keep up the good work. Oh, Michael, we are so here for you. I don't want to hear that. There's so much, I'm sure, in your life. We love you. I love you. This is for you, Michael. Let's have a fun night tonight. Let's have some fun Nerd Wars. Keep the energy up, the positivity. Let's do this. All right, to meet tonight's fighters. We just lost one of them. Her video went away. There it is. There. Now they're here. Let's meet our fighters. We got, he's been here the most. He's the longest standing player here. Sadly, his record of this new season is not very good. Hopefully, maybe tonight you'll be on it. We'll see. Adon is back from Nerd Tots. What's up, Adon?
It's good to be back, man. And yeah, hopefully I'll get a little bit better at my game. But you know what? It's always fun to be here, win or lose, and I'm glad to participate.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how you do. No pressure, man. All right, and next to you, he has been on the show, just not on this incarnation of the show, but I'm so happy to have him from the 4 Nerds 1 podcast. Another Tampa local, Izzy is in the building. What's up, Izzy? Good to see you, man.
Yo, happy to be here, happy to be back, ready to fight.
Happy to see, and you were. Thanks again for showing up to that Borat screening. You guys actually showed up. You got some mustaches. Got to watch the drive-in. It was good to see you guys. We'll have to get the other 3 nerds in here at some point, and maybe you'll do a whole round with you, all 4 of you. That'd be fun. So stay tuned. But good to have you, my man. And making her Nerd War debut. Now I'll be honest. I just want more females to fight in this show. It's always dudes, and so Myra's been a long-time watcher, favorite. I'm a big fan of hers, and we had a Disney one tonight, and I thought, oh, this could be fun. Let's see if Myra can get in the mix. So she's making her Nerd Wars debut. Myra, what's up, Myra?
What's up?
Happy to have you. We're finally airing live when you can watch, and so it all worked out. I'm happy to have you. You are going to be fighting for Disney tonight, so I'm excited to see how that goes. No pressure as a Disney employee.
Pressure's on.
All right, well, here's how it's going to work tonight. We have two rounds already set in stone. In fact, I'm going to send out round 3. I have to do it all. Steph and everybody they're busy tonight, so all love to them as always. But vote for round 3 now. I just put it in the straw poll. You guys throughout the evening, if one of the mods could use help mods tonight getting the straw polls out, someone raise your hand and tell me that you'll be able to help tonight. Send that straw poll out throughout the show so that way people can be voting for round 3. There's a bunch of options. But the way this show will work tonight, we got 2 rounds to start with. First up, as the title said, should Tobey Maguire lead a live-action Spider-Verse movie? Now, to be specific, I've heard rumors of this. I have not been able to confirm it, but I've heard that they want to bring Tobey back after as I told you guys exclusively, Tobey will be back for Spider-Man 3, and then the talk is bringing him back for a Spider-Verse movie. Again, that's the rumors, not yet said or confirmed, but would that be what we want to see? And that would mean Miles Morales is not a lead. Tom Holland would be in it, but it would be more of a Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire movie, maybe supporting role of Miles. Do we want to see Tobey as a lead in that movie, or no, would we rather see something else? That'll be our main event. And then round 2, 1 year later, Disney Plus. Is it a success or a failure so far based off the year? And I will be fighting Myra on this. No pressure, Myra. We will be fighting that one. And then the winners of each of those rounds will go head-to-head, and whatever you vote for round 3. So that's how the show works here on Nerd Wars, and you guys will get to vote as well each round to see who won the best argument. So keep it coming. You guys can send your thoughts. You will help us judge and so on throughout. So send your support through Streamlabs and through the Linktree link to help us out, support the channel, and get heard on the show. Now that I got all that out, everyone knows how to do this. Yes, shall we get straight to it? Are you guys ready for round 1 of Nerd Wars? All right, I'm going to take that as a yes. All right, first up, we are Myra, if you want to shut your camera off, we're going to let Izzy and Adon take this first round, get right into it. Just turn off your video, and it should disappear you from my gallery.
Which one is it? Where it says stop video?
Yes.
Yep.
Hit that, and then voila, you're out. You can still hear us. You're still here, but now I only see them on screen. All right, so Adon versus Izzy. The question first up. Should Tobey Maguire lead a Spider-Verse live-action film? Yes or no? Adon, where do you stand? Yes, just first, quickly, just yes or no. Yes or no,
I'll say
Adon?
no.
So no, you don't want Tobey to lead a Spider-Verse movie. Okay. And Izzy, you're saying yes. Let's see Tobey lead this movie.
Yes.
Okay, great. The way this will work now, I got a timer on the clock. You guys will see it. Adon, I'm going to let you start since you've been here a few more times in this format. Adon, I'm going to start the clock. You will start the fight. Let's do this. Go.
Listen, Toby, great and everything as he was back in the day, all those years ago. We've seen him dwindle down from like the beginning of the first Spider-Man all the way down. We don't need that. We don't need any more mentors. We don't need any of that anymore. Let Tom Holland lead. And you know what? Let's bring in Miles Morales. That should be a better lead. That will work perfectly because that could actually tie into what we all know is the true and best Spider-Man movie there is, Into the Spider-Verse. And they actually end it with him looking into another Spider-Verse with Gwen Stacy. That could actually work, and that could lead into going into Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland. Now, this is what we want. We want a continuation of a Spider-Verse where it's going to be an expansive universe with new characters, new life, and we want to be enjoying it. We don't want to hash old, especially something that we're looking at nostalgia, and it really isn't that doesn't hold up. It's not as good. What we're going to do is if you bring in Toby, you're really just going to rehash the same movie that we saw with Into the Spider-Verse, where we get a guy who's lived a life, who's going to be out of shape, who's not going to be good, and it's the same exact movie. We want something new. We want something better. And do we not deserve that?
All right, good start. Izzy, where do we stand?
I'll give you the End of the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie. But that's not the argument here. The argument is, do we want Tobey Maguire to lead a movie? And I think yes, man. First, I do not want to see a live-action Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse between two more animated Into the Spider-Verse Miles movies and a Miles game. That's not what I'm here for. I love Miles Morales, professional Miles cosplayer. I'm still not doing that. I don't want to see a live-action movie that steps on the toes of something we already know is phenomenal. Give me Pete. And then the great thing about this is, for the Spider-Verse comic, it starts with an older, more experienced, college age. I've been Spider-Man for a long time, Pete, and I've been doing this. That's what I want to see. We haven't gotten a movie where we've gotten a seriously experienced Spider-Man. Yeah, Tobey's washed up actor-wise, but we don't have to write him that way, right? We can meet a Spider-Man that has been doing this for an extended period of time, is in his stride, knows exactly how to do all of these things. And yes, you do see a Spider-Man like that at the beginning of Into the Spider-Verse, but he dies. Where is that guy's story? That's what I want to see. And if they take the time to write Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man well, then you have the option to have him interact with a bunch of Spider people we might never meet with Miles, right? In the comic books, Peter Parker is the key to the web of life and destiny, and that's why he's at the middle of all this Spider-Verse stuff. That's the stuff I'm looking forward to seeing if we bring Tobey back.
All right, free for all, go.
Listen, you're making an argument that the Spider-Verse guy, Toby version is the one that dies. I say the Spider-Verse version is the out of shape, out of weight, belly gut. I couldn't keep Mary Jane Toby. That's my Toby from the Spider-Verse. And that's how I see Toby will come in. I don't see him coming in as like, I'm the seasoned veteran, I've done this. Did we all forget about Spider-Man 3? Spider-Man 3 did not show Toby in the greatest of lights, dancing around like Grease Fever, like down the street in a black outfit with grease back hair. That it was just not a great role and performance for him. And I don't see his Peter Parker character being the lead that would know and do everything. In all three movies, he's always messing up. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not seasoned. At what point is he going to seem like he's going to be a seasoned guy?
3 Spider-Man movies take place over like a year and a half, 3 years, canon time. He gets spider powers, marries Mary Jane, meets Venom. There's no time there. Homie is still in college. So of course he doesn't know what he's doing. And you can't fault Toby for the writing of that horrible Spider-Man 3 movie. We all know about the production and development hell that went through. We know how Sony had them try to shoehorn in all these other villains. We know that. So you got to look at the character. You got to look at the character. You got to look at the actor. I think if you decide to write a Spider-Man that isn't out of shape, that isn't a screw up, that's had time to adjust to his role as Spider-Man, you get a phenomenal movie. You get to see something that really we could only see with someone who we have kind of understood as a community has been in that Spider-Man role for an extended period of time. You know, how are they going to write him? Are we going to get old school assassin Spider-Man? Are we going to get the Spider-Man that uses guns now because he's too old to web swing? There are so many great Spider-Man stories to tell with an aging Peter Parker that are outside of the I don't know what I'm doing or oh, I'm fat and out of shape. You're right.
Yeah,
We've
but
seen that story.
When you
why
talk
would they
about
even
that,
write
that's no longer your Peter Parker. I'm keeping the Peter Parker that was in those movies. Now you're just completely changing it, and you're saying Tobey Maguire's going to come in as a completely different character then. At that point,
they're all Peter Parker, and we don't know what happened with this Peter Parker's life between the end of Spider-Man 3 and 15 years of real-world time, right? We don't know, and that's the point I'm trying to make here, right? He doesn't have to be out of shape. We don't know that.
So you want to bring in a Peter Parker that we have no backstory to, and we don't know how he is, and now we're going to get a movie, Spider-Man 3, which is supposed to focus on Tom Holland, but we're going to now have to put in like maybe 15 to 20 minutes of filler so we understand what happened to Tobey.
Do you have to?
Will that not take away from our experience?
Okay,
how many times have we watched a movie and we were like, I don't need that filler. I don't need that like background story. Why is that exposition there? Like, how many times do we need to watch like why Ben Parker died every time? He's gonna rehash that.
We have 4 minutes. I want to pitch your version, Izzy, and then you'll go to Don as well. But Izzy, what's your version?
Okay, we know Marvel is making this pivot towards the multiverse thing and making it hefty, right? I want to see a Peter Parker that is the Captain America of his group of Spider people. He knows what he's doing. He's been here for an extended period of time, and he's been going from multiverse to multiverse, educating other Spider-Men on what's going on. Okay, Into Spider-Verse is great, but there's no need for us to draw this out of shape, uncomfortable, feckless Spidey. Where's the dude who knows what he's doing? That's what I want to see out of Tobey Maguire. And I think if they write him like that, we get a phenomenal movie with very little need for filler in the new Spidey movie.
Don, your version?
In my version, you know what? I'll be kind. You can bring Tobey, but he's a sub character. He's not really a main lead. He's a guy that comes in and is like, this is what you could have ended up as. You know, like maybe a flash of him being sitting there, drinking a beer, overweight, just looking at the TV, be like, oh, well, you know, and that could have been him. Focus on the lead being Miles Morales, being the guy who comes in. He's lost. He's out of place. He doesn't know what's going on. And he sees this chaos that's going on for Tom Holland too. And they explain like, Tom Holland's trying to figure out like who's JJ up on the screen, because they never really announced JJ in any of the movies. And like let him be confused, let him see what's going on, and then bring in the universe and bring in the other things. And Miles Morales is the one who is more experienced. He's the guy who knows the Spider-Verse. He knows the alternate realities. He's going to be your connection point. And then you know what? Make it fun point too. That like he's like, oh, my voice is even different. You can make him a different actor. He doesn't have to be the voice actor from Spider-Verse. And like have fun with it. And that's going to be my Spider-Verse.
I'm confused. It's the same. You're taking because it sounds just like Spider-Verse.
You want to take the same canon character.
I want to take Spider-Verse into the Tom Holland's movie.
So you're taking the animated Miles Morales from Spider-Verse into this movie as a live-action actor.
Exactly. If they're going to bring in Tobey from Spider-Man 1, why can't we bring in Miles from into the Spider-Verse? And that, to me, makes more sense. You're having an alternate reality that is already been broken in one movie and carry that over in. Why break it in the other way around? It just makes more sense to me that way.
All right, you have 90 seconds. You guys can free all it, whatever. Go for it.
Does that make sense? How is that different enough
you already
from
set
the
the
movie
bar.
we've seen and the movie we're about to see that is definitely in production? How are you not stepping on that movie's toes? That's what I want to know.
It's complimentary.
Like,
it's not stepping on toes.
How
is that stepping on toes? Tell me.
How is this? So how is this exact movie that you have pitched not the plot of Into the Spider-Verse 2, the animated movie? Like you ask anybody, high percentage chance that's what's going to happen. So are they going to retread it when they run it back as an animated feature film? And this is what I was getting at. They already
established that the movie it continues on. So why not just continue on? The Spider-Verse is a vast thing and just continues on. It was just broken in another reality. You were talking about Tobey doing the same thing, but now he's the one leading the front of like, I'm educating and I'm breaking the rules and entering the other Spider-Verses. Why is that making more sense? Why is it Tobey, now a seasoned interdimensional warrior of Spider-Man, going into all these other things? That has no sense whatsoever, no bearings. That's like Captain America jumping in and saying, I'm going to train all these other Captain Americas in other universes so they'll be ready for Thanos. That makes no sense there.
10 seconds, Izzy.
Captain America's never, universe hopped as
we just
a
compared
primary
Tobey
measure.
to Spider Captain America.
I'm just saying I want to see Tobey as the guy in charge of all of these other Spider-Men he's training as well.
Time. Good fight. Ding, 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 ding. All right. Bravo. That was fun. All right. I have feelings. I have strong feelings. Myra, you can come back in. You're going to help me judge, and then we're going to put this poll out. Now, based on the arguments, here is round 1 poll. I have it ready. Boom. Mods, James, thank you. Slevin, everybody who's been helping getting my links out. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you share that a couple more times. That is the round 1 poll. Get in there and vote right now as Myra and I talk. All right, so Myra, you got thoughts, and then I'll share my final verdict? I can hear you at least.
Hold on, I'll do it. Sorry.
Oh, we got you now.
Okay.
Oh,
Can
you hear me?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I got you now.
Sorry. I actually like Izzy's argument better.
Okay.
This is the part that always makes me nervous. Go ahead, Myra. Tell me.
Any reasoning you want to add, or just
Okay.
you said Izzy just made you
You
feel better?
go first. I have to move the car. Sorry.
Oh, she's moving your car. Okay, no, I got you. So yeah, I gotta echo what Myra said. I think you started really strong, Adon. I like that you're like, look, we don't want the same rehash. It's Tobey's basically just doing the Spider-Verse character. But then you proceeded to tell me he was going to play an overweight version of himself, which is literally you're just making the live action version of Spider-Verse. And then you twisted and said, well, no, it's a sequel. And then Izzy got you against the wall. And he's like, well, then what's Spider-Verse 2? So it was hard to get away from that. And I got to say, I really did like and you made a good point also, Izzy, that we got a lot of Miles out there right now. I like this idea of the Captain America of Spider-Man coming in, and I don't think they're going to do it, but if they did, that would be amazing. But like if he comes in experienced and ready, and we finally actually have like a new, really good Spider-Man who's not like the kid, that's the time you can get away with it, and that would be so cool to see him come in and be like, yeah, no, I know, I already made that mistake, kid. Don't do, like helping him coach him through that would be a really fun, surprising way to do it. So I gotta say, Izzy got my vote. Sounds like Myra agrees. Let's see what the poll. Myra, thoughts as I get the poll results.
Okay, I agree with your argument. I kind of, if this is supposed to restart the multiverse, you can't have it linked to Miles Morales. And then also, I wanted to see something different than what I saw on the cartoon already. I wanted to see where it could have gone. It's too rehash of the Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I would love to see the live action. We've talked about this. It would be so cool to see those worlds collide, but it sounds like they're not going to do it. They're going to make Spider-Verse 2, and if they're not, then we have to separate them and figure out a way to do it. So if they're going to just go in a multiverse with Marvel and have a bunch of other stuff, fine. Then they can do a Spider-Verse animated too. It's going to get confusing if they're doing both, but they're getting a little greedy, let's be honest. But the poll echoes what we just said. Wow, hold on, my mouse just disappeared. 77%. Izzy takes round 1. Bum, 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 bum. I need to get some sound effects or something at some point. But good work. Adon, sorry. He tried. He did changes. He picked it last minute at the end. So he's such a true player. He takes whatever he's got. But bravo, a good attempt. But you did screw up at the second half of that argument, sadly.
I did.
You did. But good work. All right, so let's get to round 2. Izzy and Adon, you can turn off your cameras. Myra, are you good to do this now?
Okay, I'm good. I'm inside. Hopefully I have better Wi-Fi.
Okay, there we go. We got you. I see you. It's you versus me. Now, I'm not going to be able to judge this one. So, Adon, Izzy, I need you both to pay attention. You're going to be my judge. Audience, you're also going to be the judge at the end and make your vote. All right, so the topic now, me versus Myra. We're now 1 year in to Disney Plus. Success or failure? Myra, as a Disney, you worked at Disneyland. As a Disney employee, I suppose you are going to support Disney on this, yes?
Yes, I am.
And I'm going to say it's a failure. So I look forward to it. All right, let's put the time on the clock. Let's reset the clock. Would you like to start or would you like me to?
I will start.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll let you have it. Go ahead. And time starts now.
Okay, I believe is it successful because of the nostalgia factor. We have, and also, sorry, let me start over again. Disney Plus was successful because you had Mandalorian starting off right away, to the point that you have other streaming services that copied their weekly release. The Boys, first couple of episodes from Amazon, one coupled together, and then they released them one after the other. Every time you have tadpoles that are coming out, you have all this hype for WandaVision. They're going to do it weekly, and then after that, you're going to have the next MCU one, whether it's going to be Falcon and the Winter Soldier or the Loki series. And then after that, you have the potential of the next version of the Star Wars. And then you have all these movies that are coming out. You have Soul coming out. You have is Black Widow going to come out on Disney Plus? So you have this anticipation, but you don't necessarily have that for any of the other ones other than HBO Max.
All right, interesting. I think the problem you say there, though, is all the things that are coming. You just fell into your own trap, in my opinion, because we still have nothing there. It's like an old Disney library that I have. And look, if any parent, and I think this is a service for parents, any parent out there already has dozens of Disney movies already on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, what have you. That's, as kids, you need to have those in your library. And the Marvel Star Wars movies, they're awesome movies. We already have. The library that Disney's giving us, the things that are their shining star, we all have access to those. It's like, who doesn't own the Avengers? Who doesn't own the Star Wars trilogy? Who doesn't own the Lion King? Any Disney fan has them already. Yes, it's convenient to have them all, but in my opinion, they launched too soon. They didn't have enough stuff ready, and they they continue to cannibalize themselves by only doing kid content. They do not step up and do any content for adults. And so from a successful streaming service, I think they're actually failing. Mulan, I think, was another example of, they're like, okay, well, this fine. Well, finally, the service isn't working, but we'll use Mulan to sort of trick it and screw the theaters over and just launch it there. And in doing so, they screwed the theaters over. Some of these theaters are about to go bankrupt because Disney's like, meh, whatever, screw the theaters. I guess they'll think they'll buy them. Who knows? They could have made more money had they put them in some of the theaters, but they chose, nah, screw the theaters. Let's just put it on Disney Plus. $30 for Mulan, which was like a ripoff. It was a ripoff for families, for people. It was a terrible movie. And if that movie was actually a hit in that format, we would be hearing about it. We're not. We're like, oh yeah, we're happy with it. They're so silent about it because they know it wasn't a hit. So those are my initial thoughts.
Well, you have to compare it to the other streaming services. It already beat Quibi because Quibi is out of business. You're not hearing Peacock because right now their only tadpole right now is The Office. It has a better launch than HBO Max because it was available for Roku. It was available for some of the other streaming services. Plus, HBO Max is still so confusing because they have multiple streaming services connected to the HBO Warner Brothers stuff. Well, Disney has Hulu and they have Disney Plus. I will agree that they are limiting themselves, but they're still working out how they're working with Hulu. But they have the option of, you have different versions. You have just the Disney Plus. You have the Disney Plus with Hulu, and then you have the Disney Plus with Hulu and ESPN. So you have those little different bundles that's getting the different genres. Well, they're and then plus you also have, when Disney Plus came out, you had all those people that joined those 3-year mark contracts. They were gobbling them up if you were a D23 member. And then you have, right now you still have the contract with Verizon. So I think right now I would give you year 2, whether it's successful or not. But right now in that first year, I believe it's successful compared to some of the other streaming services.
Well, I think a lot of the streaming services you named are also failures is the problem with that argument. So that doesn't help me just because, which of these poops is slightly less poop-like for me doesn't help win the argument. The problem with Disney Plus is, look, are they putting building blocks there that could eventually turn into something? Sure. But does that mean it was successful right now? No. And does that mean these building blocks might fall over and actually not be as big of a hit as they think? Yeah, I mean, I think this service is a fan club. It's for Disney fans. It's for Star Wars, Marvel, Disney fans, and I will give it to them. Of like the ideas was smart. It was there, and I think through the pandemic it gave them something to do. But that almost makes me think it's even more of a failure because why the hell didn't they have more stuff? Why haven't they put more stuff out there? They're resorting to putting theatrical films now on their service because they're so desperate for people to come over there and do it. I don't think there is. We got Mandalorian was the only real thing there that I think people went back to check. And then Hamilton, I guess, like the two big things were Hamilton and Star Wars over a whole year. A whole year. They had stuff for Marvel that were shot that they could have probably released. I know that stuff happened, but they could have at least done like a half of a season of Falcon and Winter Soldier. They didn't even do that. They have the whole Fox library that they haven't moved on. I mean, Family Guy. There's so many Fox shows, FX shows. Why not age-gate Disney Plus and put so much more content on there? Fargo. You could turn this thing into something much better, but they keep. I mean, my God, did you see The Big Fib? Mike, I tried to watch it with my kids because I'm always looking for kid shows, and I kept forcing it. I'm like, well, let's try it because I have Disney Plus. It was the dumbest, worst show ever, and then they give it to you once a week. Where I'm like, I don't want it once a week. I want to watch it when I want to watch it. The delivery sucked. The show sucked. Even that new Muppets show sucked. There's just nothing about it that I've been impressed by, except for The Mandalorian, which to me is getting stale already in season 3. I hope that season 2. I hope it changes. But go ahead. I'll let you. Now it's your turn.
Well, you have to compare it to like other streaming services, and that's how I'm seeing it successful or whether it's a failure. Plus, look at Netflix. Netflix is, instead of them, they were monopolizing online services, and this quarter they actually had a decrease, and then they had their own controversy with their version of movies. And Disney's trying to be on the safe side because they're learning from. Let's be careful right now because you're right. They do have an image they need to represent, but they also have that nostalgia factor that a lot of times where you're like, you know what, I want to escape reality right now. Let me look at something that's going to make me happy. And there's something that is cozy about sitting down and watching some classic, watching Snow White. And then plus they also have these documentaries that a lot of them are really awesome. Like the one from the Sherman Brothers. Nobody knew they didn't like each other. Like you have these documentaries that if you explore that you can find out on Disney Plus. You're right, they don't have the big names, but you have to sit down and take the time to look at their library. But that's the same thing with all the streaming services.
Right. Well, again, I think you just showed it's a fan club. It's like a bunch of documentaries about hardcore Disney stuff, which I enjoy once in a while. I even watched the Frozen documentary because I'm like, I got to find something in here. And it was interesting, but not to a widespread audience. There's just nothing there that's bringing people over, like Netflix, like Amazon Prime, even HBO Max. I just watched, Amazon Prime had Mr. Bean, which I just watched with my kids and we had a laugh. Like, if we're going to talk about archive, like, find deeper stuff in the archive than just Mickey shorts and old Disney shows. Like, I want something else. You own Fox. Where's the Fox stuff? Why is it taking so long?
The nostalgia is what's kept Disney alive for over 50 years. It's been since the 1920s.
But I bet how much do you own that you? How much stuff from Disney Plus do you own physical of? Admit it.
I got rid of a lot of it. I'm
really
being honest with you. Yeah.
There are a lot of But you did own it. You owned it, right?
I owned it, but a lot of it was VHS that we threw away because who has a VHS player anymore? There are a lot of people who are downsizing because they're like, you know what? I don't need this anymore because it's all available online. I know a lot of people who are doing garage sales, and what do you see? Old movies, not just Disney, a whole bunch of stuff. So you have people who are downsizing because they have clutter, and the first things they go away, unless they're hardcore, oh my God, I can't get rid of this movie, is they start throwing away the movies.
I just dropped to get a prop because you're right. I want to prove your point. I own this movie in 4 formats. I own it in this DVD, Blu-ray, 4. I mean, Jesus! How many times as a Disney fan do I gotta keep buying more Disney?
But you're thinking of our age group, but you have to realize a new age group don't buy physical media.
My daughter just bought The Princess Diaries on video at Goodwill, so that's a lie.
But majority of the new group are not literally buying physical media because it's too expensive. They find it cheaper to buy it or watch it or rent it on VOD or having it available on iTunes or stuff like that or different apps.
Yeah, convenience maybe, but success no. Time. Ding, 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 ding. That was good. For Myra's first fight, bravo. Going against a veteran. That's pressure. I get it, but I think you did a great job. All right. Now it's out of our hands. Izzy, Adon, you can come back in the building. I'm going to put the poll out for you. And yes, those people are like, what is that? This is a VHS tape. Back in the day. This is what Disney, like, I had them all, and I gave a lot. My dad gave them all out of away too, but I actually started collecting VHS tapes because I want them on my set, and it's fun because it was like $1 at the Goodwill store. But yeah, videotapes back in the day, in the clamshell and everything. But
the one I got mad that my mom threw away was the Little Mermaid with the original cover. The one they got in trouble 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that. The controversial castle.
Yeah, remind me afterwards. And
yeah,
when we're done live, I'll show you the other
threw it away.
DVDs, the videos I bought. All right, but Don, go ahead first. Who, based off the arguments, where you put? And the poll is out there, guys. So go vote. Don.
So okay, I did juggle back and forth, and I am actually going to side with Myra on this one. You did make good arguments. I'm not going to say that you didn't. You absolutely did make some good arguments. But the parts that stuck with me was, in the end, she was talking about people don't hold on to that heavy media unless they're diehard fans. And if you're a diehard fan, you're probably going to have Disney Plus. Anyways, that part really stuck to me at the end. But early on, when she was talking about it too, that she did bring up a point, like, Disney Plus did have a good start, and even though like those other companies failed, they have they're still holding strong in comparison to those other companies. And that was a good like she brought up, you got to look at the failures of others to see where you're at succeeding, and then that's what stuck with me. All
right, it's a close vote. So go vote. You still got time, guys. Izzy, if you agree, the vote really won't matter. But go ahead. What are your thoughts, Izzy?
So I liked a bunch of Myra's points. I did like the whole compare other streaming services to other streaming services, but I gotta agree with you on this one, Andy. Which one of these turds is less poofy? It is the exact point to make. I think it's Disney, man. You can't give them any slack. They have more money than anyone else doing any of this, so you got to hold them to that standard. You can't compare someone playing in the NFL to a high school team and say, well, look, they're still doing pretty good. And Disney had a great start, but everyone experienced COVID, and Disney Plus is the only thing I've thought about canceling out of the million different subscriptions I have. And I'm a huge Disney fan, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a good point. I wonder if they would have done better had it not, right? If like people who are budgeting might be like, if I'm going to cut one, I already watched everything there. Interesting point. All right, so we're tied. That means we go to the poll. Let's see if I'm going to reset this and see what happened. Wow, Myra, though, good. I mean, I got it by just a few. By literally 5 votes. But yeah, I mean, that is a good, that's better than Adon did.
Much better. Much better. And it's about the same amount of votes, too. So
I love you, Don.
Congratulations to Myra.
I'm just effing with you. Yeah, same amount of votes. There it is. All right, and I just barely squeaked by. But Myra, bravo. Come back and do this anytime. Always fun fighting Disney with you. All right, well, there we go. We made it. So that means I'm going to do fighting Izzy. My first round 2. Okay. I'll be fighting Izzy on this next fight, which hopefully you guys have been voting on. Let's see. What topic? Let's see what the results were. I hope you guys were voting. Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, there's a clear winner. The clear winner is, should Wonder Woman bypass theaters and go to HBO Max. 24 votes pulled that one. I was really hoping to fight about Christopher Nolan's sound mixing, but there we go. All right, so I got to set a straw. Can someone help me do a straw poll for that round, for round 3? Actually, somebody set up should Wonder Woman bypass theaters and go to there? Izzy, I guess we got to pick out how we're going to do this. Do you have a strong opinion? Let's say our opinion on the count of 3. Adon, count to 3, and we'll say our opinion. Should Wonder Woman bypass theaters and go to HBO Max? Adon, count for us.
1, 2, 3.
No.
Damn it. Oh, man.
There was a clear pause.
Yeah, I mean, he did pause. I feel bad, but I mean, it was clear, right?
You took too long. You missed it. You took too long.
No.
I'll take you.
Hey, dude, man. Anything's possible. All right, so I got the no. So somebody make that straw poll for me. Should it be? What was the question? Oh, I have it here. No, Andy. All right, I have the poll. Well, I don't post it yet. No, Andy. All right, here we go. And yes, Izzy. Izzy. Okay, Izzy, we're gonna start the clock. I'll go start it so you can still get ready to get your argument ready.
Okay.
And Amira, just drop your video again for me. Turn off your video. We start the clock. Here we go. 10 minutes on the clock. And bam. Hold on. Why didn't it start the clock? There it is. Okay. Come on. No, we can't. Too many studios have already backed off of the theaters. The theaters are dying. We need to support the theaters. And this is a theater movie. I can wait. As frustrating it is to wait, we all need to learn patience. Wonder Woman is a crowd-pleasing, amazing, perfect type of blockbuster that I want. I'll be honest. Most of the movies in 2021, I don't care about them. I was always didn't really care about a lot of these movies. Wonder Woman's been the one I'm like, I really want to see. I can't wait for ever since the first one. I do not want them to just put it out because, we need to put it out. No. Put out some other the DC ones. This one, you got to hold on. This is the crown jewel. Put it in theaters. Support the theaters. I'd rather see it in limited theaters in December than not. So I don't see how, but I look forward to your argument. Go ahead.
So I think this is one thing, I guess, to point out, elephant in the room. We don't know what COVID's going to do, or
the Rona, call it the Rona,
or thing,
the
Rona,
yeah.
All the Rona. We don't know what the Rona's going to do. Who knows if we're ever in a space to be in places for continued periods of time again. Now that one's out of the way, I think this is a phenomenal chance for the theater industry as a whole to pivot to something else, to make an adjustment, man. I don't go to the movies if it's not one of these big summer blockbuster joints, And because of the Roni, I'm not even going to do that. A lot of it's coming out the house. A lot of it is being seen in other methods. This is a great time to maybe stop doing the movie theater thing so much. Yeah, a couple of them should stay open. Limited releases, fine, whatever you want to do. But maybe this is the opportunity to start doing things with that space or with these movies. Maybe larger theaters, maybe pivot towards more of a food type thing. I don't see, more accurately, the theater industry has been in trouble long before the run, right? We live in the same neck of the woods. The movie theater between you and I has been 3 or 4 different companies, and they're on the brink of closing. They were on the brink of closing long before all this stuff started happening this year. And how many other giant multiplexes are in this same bag? I say start sending stuff to people directly. Let's start seeing these movies in different venues and see what we can create with the space.
Yeah, well, look, there's rumors now that their HBO Max is going to attempt to try and drop it, put it in some sort of theater deal like they said in Christmas, and then drop it on HBO Max because they want to promote HBO Max. And I think that is going to do a tremendous disservice and just be a selfish grab to try and save HBO Max, which it doesn't need it. It's one movie we're going to watch, but I think people will go to the theaters to see it. And I think if they have to wait? Why wait? Why lose money? I don't understand. HBO Max isn't going anywhere. They got content that's going to go on there. We're all just there waiting around for stuff anyway. This is a movie that could make $1 billion theatrical. This is the type of movie that if you start putting these on streaming, theaters are dead. And I know you said theaters need to figure out other things, but I don't agree, man. I love going to the movie theater. I miss the movie theater, and I hope at some point we can. I've been to the movie theater. I am not scared of the movie theater. I think people can go safely in smaller doses. So I still think there are plenty of movies that can go there. But look, I'm watching Freaky tonight, and then I'm gonna review it for you guys tomorrow. But Freaky is a perfect example of a Blumhouse movie that's a perfect theater movie. And Universal of all the studios is the one that's gonna potentially keep theaters alive because they're putting it in theaters tomorrow. And apparently the reviews are great. I look forward to seeing it. But again, those are the types of movies I want to see in theaters. I want to see Jackass 4D when it comes out. I want to see it in theaters. I would have wished I could have saw Borat 2 in theaters. We saw it in a drive-in, which was nice, but it wasn't as crowded, and it would have been nice to see a crowd laughing with it. Wonder Woman is that same type of feeling. I want that blockbuster moment of like the No Man's Land on a screen with the crowd. Look, Tenet I would even give up. Put Tenet on HBO Max. What the hell? Wonder Woman is too big for this. You can't drop Wonder Woman on HBO Max. It would be an immense just knock at Patty Jenkins and everybody to say, yeah, whatever. We're just going to put it on streaming. No. We got to stand us for our ground somewhere.
I think this ship has sailed, man. I think this ship sailed the moment Trolls did all of the streaming numbers in recorded history when they dropped it like 6 months ago. I think this is where the universe is going, and I think if that's what's going to happen, we need to lean into it. I think the more you try to piecemeal it, the more you try to some movies, not the others, and everyone fights over it, and you can't come up with some sort of unified front on the situation, you get ineffective rollouts. I love the theater, right? I do go for these blockbuster things, but it is a really cool experience. I've been going to see like movies for Phenom events where they do like anime movie rescreenings, and they're great. But the point is that group dynamic. Why not figure out some other way to make that happen? Personally, I would like to see the return of mom and pop locally owned theaters. I don't think you do that in an instance where these giant multiplex theaters are getting all the traffic for these giant blockbuster movies. I've been going to like the Villaggio, the mom and pop one over on Bruce B, forever. And I think if you start dropping some of these on streaming services, it kind of gives them more of a fighting chance. People aren't necessarily going to go to the multiplex. They can see it at home anyway. So now the question is, where's the atmosphere, right? Where's that cool local place I can go to see this? And I think that's possible.
Yeah, you're right. Those are some nice ones, but there's also the ones that are getting most hit because they can't afford to stay open and pay their employees. And then the other problem I have with that is just like, look, at some point, we're going to be back to normal. We have to be. People aren't going to live like this forever. We can't. They can't afford to live like this forever. They're going to figure out a way to put us back in the world. And at a certain point, we're going to be like, hey, I missed the movies. Is there a movie theater open? And it's going to just be the Amazons and the big Disney chains are just going to buy the theaters. And to me, that's going to do the opposite of helping the mom and pop. At some point, they're just going to shut them down because they're going to be the big multiplexes that decide what to do. And it's going to change the dynamic, which may be too late. You might be right. But I think Wonder Woman is the move that changes that dynamic. So you're right. I guess if you agree with Izzy and the theaters, who cares about the theaters? Put Wonder Woman in HBO Max. Do it. I believe in the movie theaters. I believe in supporting them, and I think so does Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot. I don't think they want it on streaming. I'm sure if they had their way, they'd be like, are you kidding me? No, just wait a year. Why are you rushing this? What is the rush? Why put it out? Wait till the summer. There's going to be a lot of movies, and all the movies on Warner Brothers catalog. Tell me one movie that's going to perform better in theaters than that one. Why would you rush it? Hold on to it. It's going to do money in the theaters, and then it'll do money on HBO Max. Look, it makes no sense.
This is tough. I'm not gonna lie. This is hard. No, at the end of the day, I do think that the streaming infrastructure as a whole is tough right now, right? I would like to see more instances of things as they are created coming straight to streaming. That's my whole stance on new TV shows, that sort of thing. As soon as it airs on TV, I want it on streaming. I think moving movies under that umbrella kind of allows for that leg to stand on with other media as well. Fine, do the limited release thing. I'm not upset at that, but like immediately after, we need to have it on streaming because people aren't going to the movies. I would personally pay slightly more, if I knew I were going to get these blockbusters quickly, either, 1 week after or same day on streaming to have that option to go see it myself if I didn't want to leave the house.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but it's just the movie itself is, I hope is good, and I think the theaters are something we do want. At least the majority of people want, as I've seen in the chat. So, to me, this is an issue of If you want to just go streaming, yeah, you go with Izzy. If you want to spread this out, you go here. It may be too late. It may be too late. Who knows? But Wonder Woman is the last stand. Wonder Woman has to be in theaters, or they're just getting the money cash grab. I don't even think it will get the money. I think they will lose money on that movie if they go to HBO Max. Sure, they'll gain subscribers, but that doesn't mean they're going to stick around for 3 months. They're
going to lose. They're going to lose money anyway, because remember, theaters aren't at full capacity and a bunch of people aren't leaving the house anyway. So I guess the question is, come out now or really wait until the universe is back to normal.
Does that mean Dune is next month? Because once you put out Wonder Woman in January, if I'm buying HBO Max, I expect one of those a month. What else? Are they going to start just dropping all their theatrical movies straight to the streaming? How can they afford that? At a certain point, you can't afford it. That's going to crush. It's going to start affecting the studios. We're not going to get indie movies and stuff, and we're not going to get as good of a movie because they are just so short-sighted that by putting it straight to Max, they don't get their profit margins. Therefore, movies are going to start suffering too if we really break it down. I think. 30. You got the last 30. Go ahead. he had a tough fight. That's a tough one.
I'm doing the best I can here. So I will concede that this could affect indie movies. I do think that we need to open funding up to indie movies for crowdsourcing, that sort of stuff anyway. I think the more you can spread out the influence of large studios, the easier people are going to have of a time making the things they want to make. It's got to be to the point where studios can't afford to fund indie movies and people need to come to us for crowdsourcing. Dope, run it. People have been doing that successfully for years.
Boom, boom. All right, uphill battle. Yash was in there. I should have had Yash pinch in for you. Yash was just like, this movie looks stupid. There's warehouses of unsold merchandise. The movie's going to be bad. Yeah, you can add. So use Yash's theories there to help Izzy too, because I know that was a tough one on the spot. All right, well, we got round 3. There is the poll. I have it right here. Who knows? You never know on this show, Izzy, is the truth. There we go. You guys can vote based on the arguments. Don, based on the arguments, what do you want to do there?
I'm actually going to side with you on this one, Andy.
Surprised. I know you don't want to, but.
Well, here's the thing. You were the first to concede at one point. I'm like, oh, Andy, you just gave it to him. And then Izzy just kind of conceded too. And the two you were going, and I'm like, your concession actually gave him more of a concession towards you, because you're like, he's like, I kind of stole my argument.
I know. I caught myself and I was, damn it. But then I was trying to just beat it because I felt for it. I was like, this is a tough argument.
It is a tough argument, 100%. Izzy, if I were you, granted, I haven't won in a while, so you might have done the right decision. But personally, I would stuck to the guns and actually use that first concession to try to win that over more towards your side, good in that area. Because of the fact that you kind of were leaning into it and you kind of stole your thunder in that, I was actually leaning towards Andy in that end. Both of your arguments you made very good arguments.
Yeah, you did great, Izzy. It was a hard one. Myra, where do you stand?
I think you won, but Izzy, you lost an opportunity to be like, if we keep on holding Wonder Woman, you're pushing the entire phase of the DCU. You missed certain aspects, I think, because then if you would have holded a Wonder Woman, you would have holding a Black Adam and all these other movies that are supposed to follow it.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
And look at this.
None of those other movies sound great.
But look at this. It's 50-50. Oh my God, it's one vote off.
It's tight.
It's still tight. You guys go vote for a minute while we need the 31 votes again. I know more of you are watching. Go vote for that last moment. Izzy, you were saying?
Oh man, yeah. So I thought about that, but then I was like, Wonder Woman is really the only DC movie I am legitimately excited for. Everything else I'm pretty on the fence about, so I didn't want to float that one out there.
Yeah. I mean, you could have played that like screw the numbers. I'm a fan. I want that movie out here. Go right into that. And Myra's right. It does postpone everything.
I'm going to check one more time. I want to make sure get these plugs ready while I'm going. It looks like it is. Wow! It went back. Look at this, Izzy.
Oh man!
You went back. Well, it's still. We never made the rule. We can make it right now. I don't care if I lose. But the two judges already voted yes. What should I? How should it work? Is it the best of the three, or should the audience overrule it?
Probably best of 3. I would think that seems.
I mean, I'm just
reasonable.
asking all the what's the better show, audience? What should you guys be able to overrule the verdicts, or it should be the best of the 3 or whatever happens? Is Lewis here? Lewis is not as a third party. I'm asking for the better of the show, not for my win, because I want the show to be what you guys want. So what do you think? Should it be best of 3, or should if the poll switches back and rolls? The only problem I have with that is sometimes the poll doesn't always agree with the argument. They're just based off of whatever they think is
How
popular.
about it ties it, and then because you have multiple people in the votes, but sometimes they're going for their favorite person, not necessarily for the topic.
Best of 3 audience to another debate. That's interesting. If have a finalist, if the audience vetoes it, that's interesting. Maybe that adds we could do. Well, let's do it. We could do a speed round.
Okay. Like who's the best or something like that.
All right, so the second voted thing was, is Scorpion King reboot a good idea? I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock, or WandaVision. Hold on.
Give us the WandaVision. They're tied.
Is WandaVision a good way to start Phase 4? Okay, yeah. Well, I can go either way on that.
I'm definitely a yeah.
I think we should flip the coin to make it even fairer. How's that? I got the JA coin. All right, so this is what we'll do. We're doing a 5 minute. Is WandaVision a good way to start MCU? I guess let's both answer our questions. If we say the same thing, we'll roll the cube.
Sure.
Is WandaVision a good way to start? Oh, God, where do I actually believe on that?
Do you want me to do the countdown again, or?
Well, I'm just going to say no. Where do you say, Izzy?
Yes.
Okay, well, there we go. We don't have to roll it. We don't have to roll it.
Oh, wait, hold on. I had a headphone die.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no, it's not. Okay. So is WandaVision a good way to start the show? We're going to give you guys this if the audience can overrule, and if the audience does, it triggers a speed round. Here we go. 5 minutes on the clock. All
right.
Boom. So Myra and Adon jump out. Here we go. Whatever makes the show fun. Here we go. Should WandaVision start? Do you want to start? I'll let you start. 5 minutes starts. Go.
Yes, for sure. Give us the goods, man. I'm super excited about all of these MCU TV shows, but to really get some in-depth, long-form story to give us the bedrock of MCU Phase 4, a lot of stuff has changed. Everyone has left, right, due to the end of Endgame. So we really need the time to not only understand this universe and understand the physics of what's happening. You know, WandaVerse is supposed to be huge into this multiverse thing. I really want to see the implications of that. I want to understand how this works. And then, honestly, we don't know anything about the concept of, Wanda Maximoff's power. She's an Omega level mutant, but we haven't seen that. We have the one comment that Thanos made, get me the heck out of here, pretty much, call an airstrike because Wanda's about to kill me. But outside of that, we don't even really have a concept for how strong she is. Yes, give us the time to really sit in this and get to know these characters.
Now, I don't disagree with anything you said, but I don't want it to start. It's too much of a finale for me. It's too much of a cosmic twist to start a whole phase because we got Multiverse of Madness, and then we're supposed to pause after this to get Shang-Chi, Eternals, Black Widow, Winter Soldier, Captain America. I think I would have rather started our phase with getting a little bit more groundwork, like you just said, of our core characters. To me, what WandaVision is going to do is we already did the snap. We already did sort of a big cosmic shift. So to now suddenly jump from that to this feels like a mistake. It also wasn't what Marvel wanted. You got to remember, the Rona sort of adjusted all the plots, the timings and schedules, and so now WandaVision's jumping earlier than they even wanted it to, but because it's done, they're like, I guess we're going to just do it. So to me, yeah, look, I want it. I do want to see this. It's interesting, but to me, this feels like a deeper comic, like in the bin, versus what the commercially viable stuff is. And it feels like, is this really what's going to spur it? What's the difference between this and Multiverse of Madness? So it's just her going crazy in a series to me, I'm worried to see a TV series that's clearly leading up to a movie. Just give me the movie. I don't want this dumb, stretched bullshit, black and white, I Love Lucy nonsense. I want the movie. Give me the movie with a showdown. And isn't Vision dead?
Oh, see, I'm here for all of this. I don't know if you ever read the Vision comic from a while back, where Vision had his own family, and this takes a lot of inspiration.
And the twins,
from that. Yeah, dude, that's what they're getting into, and that's what I want to see. I think after a point, you have a really good understanding of what you can expect in these Marvel movies, right? They're comforting. They are the chicken pot pie of movies. It's great. People love chicken pot pie, but it's not going to change. It's the same thing most of the time, right? I want to see something that is such a huge paradigm shift, right? To start things off that really keep me engaged. Yeah, we had the snap. Snap was dope. It's 2 years ago, right? We undid the snap. Everybody's back. People are doing people things at this point, right? I've had time to cool off, and I don't want to step back into a universe that's entirely too similar to the one I just left, especially considering everyone's gone, right? I want to see something that is so much of a paradigm shift, right? It's so much like an earth-shattering change that really gets me to stand up and take notice. And like, you know, even if it's on Disney Plus, right? Even if people don't see it on Disney Plus, it'll get people hype enough to be talking about this to get everybody invested. You know, I think it's a good idea.
I saw something. It's a 6-hour MCU movie. No, it's not. That is such a marketing ploy. They're shooting like old sitcoms to save money. Be honest. It's going to be a lot of, like, I'm sure some cool effects. It's going to look cool at times, like The Mandalorian does. But I don't believe for a second it's going to look like a Marvel movie or feel like a Marvel movie. And my biggest problem is we're going to get this. And then we're going to get Black Widow, and then Captain America, and the Winter Soldier show, or Falcon Winter Soldier, and then Shang-Chi, and then it's going to be such an annoying delay. This one was supposed to come out later. We needed to get our fill of what they have on deck, and then we get this before Multiverse of Madness. But this all got pushed up, and I think the order of it is bad. I think the order of it is wrong, and we're getting it because that's what they have, and they can't afford to keep holding off because Disney Plus is rushing everything out. This is going to be a huge mind F, which I'm not opposed to seeing, but to start our MCU and where we go from, I think it's a misstep. And I understand people are excited. I'm not saying I'm not excited, but come on. You're going to go from this to Black Widow to Falcon and Winter Soldier? That's not a little – to all the years of – boring stuff, as you say, when we just like, well, wait a second, this just reset the whole world. But wait, hold on a second. We got all these little slow things.
So I have faith, real quick. I have faith in Disney and the Feige team. I am very sure that Disney's going to put all the money in the universe into this because they have all the money in the universe. The Black Widow movie is probably going to be cool, but it was out of place from the jump and was very much a movie that if you were going to skip a Marvel movie, you would skip that movie. This is a great way to kick off Space War.
No, I want to see Captain America Winter Soldier. I want to see, what's it called? What's that? I keep saying that name. I was much more excited for that one. What's that called? The Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Whatever it's called. I'm more excited for that. Wow, all right, good. That was a good one. We got some interesting debate there. All right, I didn't get to make the poll. Hold on. Let quickly straw poll me. While I'm doing that, Adon and Myra, what say you?
Myra, I can let you go first on this one.
I'm going to go with Izzy. Only because he got me hyped up for WandaVision. And I kind of agree with him where I want to see something different. Let's see where they take. Let's see where he's going to take me. Hopefully he won't lead me astray.
Adon, sorry.
Sorry, Andy. Izzy did get this back with me too. I liked it. Izzy was doing it on this time. I like some of the arguments you were doing, Andy. He did time it perfectly at the end, though, so you didn't get your little last bit in too. So that was actually good timing on that part. He was very consistent this time. Didn't have any breaks as is. I understand your logic that they changed the recipe, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be bad in that regards. So.
All right. Going to the poll, which I guess it doesn't matter because if the poll reverses it, we got to do another one. This was a bad idea.
We'll be here all night, man.
All right, Izzy, we get to vote for each other. There we go. Let's see how it goes. And it looks like Izzy's leading 6-3. Oh, geez, there's 50-50.
Spoken into existence.
Jesus, it's a never-ending stream. Now it's up. Now it's up. Should the poll? Yeah, I should have made the rules before it. So I wish I wasn't fighting, so I could just make the rules. Oh shit! Come on, make it a clear winner. All right, we're gonna put 30 seconds on the clock, and then I will check it, and that'll deem our winner. Is that fair?
Yeah.
30 seconds. This will decide the winner. 30 seconds on the clock. and then we'll go refresh it. You got 30 seconds to go pull who wins the show, who wins the round. We will go check it in a second. But either way, let me start the plugs. Bravo, all of you. You guys can check out Adon over on Nerd Tots to go support him as he plays D&D and reviews anime now. It's cool stuff. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Good to see you. And then you can check out Izzy on the 4 Nerds 1 podcast. There it is. You guys want to go support that, you can hit it up on Instagram, 4 Nerds 1 podcast. Time! Go support him there. To check out anything else you want to plug, Izzy, before I go see who won?
Oh, that's it. 4 Nerds 1 podcast everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, Insta, Reddit.
Go support it. We'll have to get the 4 Nerds on doing a show, so we'll stay tuned. We'll do it. All right, here we go. Refreshing the it looks like Izzy pulled it out. Woo! It was tight. 30. There we go. The 30 votes are in. 20-10. Izzy takes the win. Bravo,
yes.
sir. Yeah, I mean that was a fair fight because that one round we had was just not. It was not.
Tough.
That was a tough one. But bravo. Bravo, sir. All right, we're not going anywhere. We'll be here for a little bit more, but that's how this show works. Watch it any Thursday night. We're here live doing the debate. Awesome fighters, awesome nerds, awesome comments from you guys. If you're watching live, stay here. We're going to hang out and take some of your calls tonight and lots more, so stay tuned. If you aren't watching live, become a member. You can always watch the full uncensored stream as a members-only exclusive. Plus, a lot more members-only stuff has been dropping, so go support, become a member of Popcorn Planet. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Again, if you're watching live, don't go anywhere. If you're watching on the pre-tape, why not hit that subscribe or check out these videos? Thanks for watching. Ha ha!